tell him, for the purposes of making videos. Anyway, we've got a lot of building to do, so let's get back into that and we'll come out again, Jason, and look at the kit a bit later.
Sure. Here we go. Oh, lovely, yeah. There we go, the first one.
And we've got 5 days. That's the target we set ourselves, isn't it, Jason?
That's correct, yeah.
It was quite a
ambitious
ambitious target. And that first target is to have a blank canvas. I know before you ask, we're not creating a dingy developer's office with tobacco-stained ceiling tiles. Not today. We're going to go for a bright, clean aesthetic, aren't we? An inspiring space.
Yes.
A nod to the 70s?
Yeah, it's more of a stylised tribute to the 70s and the 80s. You know, it's kind of an idealised version of a developer's office.
So we'll see that in the way it looks at the end, but also some of the colour choices, which you'll see maybe at the end of this part as we get to that stage, hopefully. And then it was time to paint the old mill walls, or the cheese walls as we call them, because they love to crumble. As you'll find, Jason, if you try to drill anything into any of these walls, they just turn to Swiss cheese. They are a pain to paint as well, because we need a large brush and we just need to stab the walls. That was my approach. Did you take up the stabbing approach?
It was more kind of small scale stabbing. I went for the detail.
I went for broad stabs. You went for small stabs. There was a lot of stabbing going on as we painted these walls, and it was goodbye to the magnolia and hello to the bright white paint, which immediately made a difference. It really did freshen the room up.
Absolutely.
If you want some mill facts, I know you're all here for the mill facts. This building in its current form was built in the 1800s by a gentleman by the name of Charles Ballinger. But there has been a mill on this site since 1439. Over the years it's produced cloth, flour, it's been used for dyeing cloth, for agricultural engineering like tractor production. It's been an upholstery works. We think wooden gliders were made here towards the end of the Second World War, but that was all hush-hush top secret. It's been a water pumping station, and now of course it's the home of Heber, an electronics firm, and of course a retro computer museum and an arcade. So we, Dev Den, are part of its long history. I think we're on day 2 at this point, and I was pretty happy that we were on schedule so far. I'm not sure I told Jason the schedule at this point, had I?
No.
I don't think you'd realise quite how ambitious the 5-day schedule was, but he was starting to pick up on my urgency to get this done. But we were going to need to knock up another wall for this build, and that was going to be to complete the room, but also we wanted to hide all the cabling in the wall. And there's a goods lift in the corner, which sadly that lift doesn't come all the way up to my floor, as Jason has found when he's been lugging his stuff up the stairs. But the goods lift does need to be accessible for servicing from our floor, so we need to make sure we've got a door there. And I've made sure that all the wiring goes into that same corner, so we'll have the goods lift, we'll have a comms cupboard, we'll have the CCTV, the amp, for the speakers, everything's going to be nice and neat in there. Next up, I clad the existing wall that we put up in anticipation of the arrival of Richard, who's going to knock up another stud wall for me, and that's going to butt up against the existing one. And here he is, Richard, who is much more of a precise engineer than I could ever be. He's our man for anything that's more complex than ripping up carpets or drilling panels or walls. And he put these walls up originally, so he's going to crack on with this one now. Are you a DIYer?
I am a DIYer, but my skills only extend so far.
You did say to me you're a decorator rather than a DIY.
No, quite the opposite. No, I prefer DIY to decorate, and I can't stand decorating.
Oh, I got it the wrong way round, but okay. This is all coming along really nicely now. I can see it coming together, and we're going to come back to the building shortly, but first,
largely acts as the astrometric and meteorological record first attempt by Warsaw to create an ultimate warrior. Or, it is a unit designed as backup to the Reaver. These creatures attack using a psionic blast which causes physical damage by overloading the synapses of the brain. Vulcans, Betazoids, and other telepathic races are particularly vulnerable to this attack. The Imperials come from a continuum that coexists with our own, but on a different dimensional plane. In this mirrored universe, virtually everything, this flying security robot was discovered on the Dreadnought. This creature was the creator. The avatar is largely Bania. Specify deck desired. Deck 1, bridge. Security access required.
Something you can find me in my office later.
Harry? Captain, I appreciate your enthusiasm. Now is not the time. Specify deck desired. Deck 2, mess hall. Security access required. Security access required. Quarters of the tenant